Right. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is the Africa Discipline Agile Meetup. As usual, I just want to say thank you for joining today. Just before I start, as we normally do, if you will let me know where you're, joining us from, that would be great. I want to say thank you to all our returning community members. And if you are very new, welcome on board as well. Um, I'll be doing a couple of housekeeping while, sending the objective of our meetup, of our community, and introducing the speaker for today. While we do that, please keep your location active. Let us know where you're joining from. And I can see Chidima saying she's from Lagos, Nigeria. Thanks for joining. And I'll just quickly go ahead. Yeah. So starting with why, right? I keep saying this, which is who we are. We are a group of committed individuals and group that are committed to promoting the real value of project management, lean and agile practices. So it's all about value to us, individuals and organizations across the world that have interest in developing their agile and lean practices. Generally, project management and emerging tech practices are welcome to attend. For 2025, we are focusing on agile, on project management, on tech, and also on other important, trends that make up the emerging technology world. So it's an interesting year. If you join us in the maiden edition this year, we kind of had a discussion on what the community members want, and based on that, we are curating, you know, uh, event for the year. And part of the important one is what we are going to talk about today. So, this is brought to you by Pete Lauren Consulting. We are your authorized training partner. So if you have any training needs, please reach out to us and we will be glad to help you and support you in your journey. And talking about that, we have Toyin Lasaki today. Who I'm just quickly going to introduce very, very shortly. We're going to be talking about career transitions today, how to successfully navigate your next move. This is very close to my heart because as professionals, as young graduates, as people already in the industry, we make a lot of transitions. And in the world of project management and tech, we look at it as secondary. Actually, it's actually primary because things are changing every time. And we need, as individuals, to keep a tab or become an early adopter of a new trend. And that is what it is very important to talk about, career transitions and how to successfully navigate your next move. And there is no other person here that I believe can take us through it than Tony Lasaki. Tony is one of the people I think since the early 2000s, I've always been talking to her for direction when it comes to career transitions. She's one of those people in the HR world that gives me very good ideas. So I'm just quickly going to introduce her and then I'll hand over to Toy. So I'll say Toy is a very seasoned human resource professional with close to 20 years of working experience. She has experience in consulting, in real estate, in construction, in marketing, in communications, and so on. She is a senior professional, human resource of Human Resource International, and a global professional. She is certified by by the HR Certification Institute in the USA. So, our experience spans so many different, industries, which include value chain of recruitment and selection. She has experience in learning and development, experience in talent management, compensation and benefits, performance management, career management, and so on and so forth. So we have a gem in the house today. She's currently the head of human resources and administration at Knight Frank, which is a multinational real estate firm, which is headquartered in London. She's also a board member of Africa People Strategy Board, that's of Knight Frank as well. I know this about Toyin. She's so passionate about empowering graduates and women and people for growth through our boarding platform, which is tagged Career Conversations with Toyin Lasaki. So I would like you to be part of the next one, as you follow her after today. And to crown it out, Toyin was recently nominated as African Top 30 HR Professionals by Go Platform. So everyone, I'd like to invite Toyin to take over. And as she comes online on video, let me just look at people that have said, let us know where they're joining from. Chidima from Lagos, Precious from Edmonton, Canada. Okay. Salema from Lagos, Esther from Lagos, Patrick, of course, from Connecticut, US, Sunday from Port Harcourt, Indaya from Cameroon, and Pamela from the UK. Thank you so much, everyone. Toyin, if you can take over, that would be great. I'll stop sharing here. Beautiful.
Thank you, Shola, for the introduction. And thank you for inviting me to the project management community. It's so lovely to meet everyone's acquaintance this evening. Thank you for having me here. I do not take you for granted in any way.
All right. Okay.
I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can. Just 1 minute. There is a strange message I'm getting from people to connect. So we will. I'll reach out back to them and see if I can do that behind the scene. There is a Zoom issue which is returning an error. Another person just responded to me as well. But we will continue to go ahead and we'll get it recorded for people that will join. All right, cool. Go ahead, Toyin.
Okay, thank you once again, everyone. So I'll be speaking to us about career transitions and how to successfully navigate your career move. I started my career almost 20 years ago, and I'll just share a bit of a little story of a particular episode where I, changed careers just in between. I'm an HR professional, but unfortunately, several years ago, I think it was about 2010, the company where I was working, they had to, they went under. That's what we call it here in Nigeria. It went bankrupt. The company went bankrupt, and we all lost our job all of a sudden. And there were a lot of options coming up. And one of that particular option was a job which was a new career, entirely different from HR. And I took that job offer majorly because, knowing well that it wasn't in my career path, but majorly because it offered international opportunity, and then because the pay was good. The pay was in dollars, and it seemed very good. And I took that offer and I started the job. I'm currently based in Lagos, Nigeria. The first 1 month of the job, we're supposed to spend it in the UK for onboarding and all that. So I traveled to the UK. We did the onboarding, and all along, it was a strange ground. I wasn't, it felt very strange. I wasn't keen into the job, into the role, everything they were saying and all that. It was just strange. But I was just like, well, it's me. Anywhere, I'm going to cope. The money is good. I'm going to have the opportunity to be traveling to different parts of the world, and it's not a big deal. That employment was from a UK university. as a recruitment officer. So not recruitment officer in relations to HR, but recruitment officer in relations to recruitment of students to join the university. So it was like a sales role, you know, somehow like that, because you're going to be marketing the university to parents of secondary school or college, you know, college, high school students. So we finished the 1 month onboarding. I came back to Lagos and we started the work. And all along, I was just struggling. I was struggling because it wasn't in my career path, one, and then because I jumped into it for the wrong reasons. And then I was just, you know, it was like square hole in round pegs. Why am I sharing this story? Or why did I share this?
Right. Looks like we lost Tony a bit there, frozen.
A
All
career
right.
determines how we live our life at the end of the day. It determines, you know, your location. It determines your finances, how you spend your money, how you save. And that's why one has to be very intentional when, you know, when switching careers or when transitioning. You must go into it for the right reasons and you must know where you're going. Let's move on. So first and foremost, there has to be a reason why you're changing careers, why you're switching careers. What is your why? You need to know your why. You need to understand what is prompting you to even switch careers in the first place. A lot of reasons why people switch careers. You have people switching careers because they are currently not satisfied with their job or with the industry where they are practicing. Some are changing because of personal circumstances, maybe because they want a more flexible job that will make them have time for their family, or maybe, you know, maybe the spouse was transferred somewhere else. It means that they have to look for another job in the new location. And then some is desire for personal growth. They feel that, oh, in that specific industry or in the new career path they want to tool, there's room for personal growth and development in that particular space. So many reasons why people, you know, switch careers or transition to a different careers. And then economic factors, some because they feel that there's a new career that can offer them more pay. For example, we see a lot of people moving from different career to tech space, to AI, to cloud. I understand that a majority of us here are from project management, but you see a lot of project managers also taking on board, you know, or, you know, channeling or switching to various career path in order, just because, oh, they want to improve on their financial status, or they feel that this career path will offer me, you know, better financial status. Then a lot of people also want to, they are pursuing a lifelong career passion. Maybe when they finished school, the first role they got was in a particular, you know, a particular career or a particular industry, not because they chose to, but because, okay, let me just do this for a while. But they have a passion for a particular, another career path. Then they now decide that, okay, this is the reason why I want to switch at this point. But of course, there has to be, whatever reason we have, whatever our why is, we need to have a plan and not just jump into it anyhow, just like the way I jumped into a different career path, educational industry, just because, oh, it was giving me opportunity to earn higher. I did not get my why right at that particular time. And this is something that I wouldn't want any one of us to fall into. Let's go on. After knowing your why, I'm going to now take you through a 6-step framework. Sorry, my slide seems to be frozen. Okay, great. So some of the questions that you can ask just to gain clarity on your career transition before you take that step, before you make that move, while you are trying to, you know, research on your why, so search and then self-reflect on, why do I even need to transition in my career, or why am I taking this step to switch careers? You need to ask yourself some questions. First, how satisfied do you feel in your current role? I believe we are all working somewhere at the moment. Let's search our mind. Are we satisfied with what we are currently doing? Do you enjoy what you're currently doing? Or you just see it as, you know, monotonous, there's no room for improvement and all that. There's even no recognition. Or what is leading you to make a career change? Is it new challenges, like I said earlier? Is it opportunities? Are you pursuing a passion, or you want more flexibility? Like someone whose spouse, or whose spouse is somewhere working in another location, or someone who feels I need more time for my family, or the job that I currently handle, it's maybe a role that is not flexible, and I need to change to a more flexible role, maybe because of family demands and all that. Then what are your values? You need to check. It's very important nowadays that you check if your values align with the job you want to take. Because if your values don't align, most oftentimes you tend to struggle, because you find out that your values are always clashing with the organization's value. And that's how, some issues start at work, when you start having, feeling that you don't fit in. The question is, did you check if your values align with that organization's value? Then what are your concerns? Will you need special training or education to qualify for a new career? These are some of the questions that we need to ask ourselves. And you do it by reflecting, go on a personal reflection journey to understand the reason why you are taking this decision to switch careers. So I'm going to be taking us. Yes, please.
Tony, before you go on, I just want to confirm from everyone online, maybe a thumbs up can be fine. Can you see Tony's slide? Because I can see it, but I'm also getting comment from people that they can see. Just want to see. Yep, Patrick, I can see that. You can see it. All right, cool. Looks like I just confirmed that the Zoom server is down, so some people cannot join. It might be the server that is playing some fast one or not. So let's keep going. I can see your screen. I just want to be sure that a lot of other people can see. Good.
Just to mention that some of the people I invited are also chatting that they are unable to join. And there seems to be a problem with Zoom this evening. Okay, thank God for the technology to record this. Okay, so we move on. I'm going to taking us through a 6-step framework for navigating career transitions. They are very basic and simple steps, which some of us might have even done unconsciously or unintentionally. But there are things that we do on a daily basis when taking decision about maybe what school do I want my children to attend, or what professional certification do I want to take now. So this is just a 6-step framework for navigating our career transition, because we want it to be seamless and easy. The first one is assessing and defining your goals. So you need to understand what your end goal is. If you understand what your end goal is, then you know that, okay, if this is my end goal, this transition or this step I'm about to take, is it going to take me closer to my goal? Even if it's not taking me to my goal that I'm looking at the end of the tunnel, will it take me a step or 2 or 3 closer to it? These are some of the questions that we need to answer. We need to ask ourselves and then answer. So assess and define your goals. What are my goals? How are my goals related, to this switch that I'm about to make? That's one. Then number 2 is to research and explore. Like I mentioned earlier, changing or switching careers is not something that you just think about overnight and then you just, go and start attending those interviews. You need to research and explore about that career and how it aligns with your goals. For example, you're a project manager, you're willing or you're looking at changing or switching to cloud or tech or the AI space. You need to start by researching about the career and how it aligns with your goals. What do you want to know about that career? What does it entail? What do they even do there? What's the pros and cons? Which aspect is difficult? And how do I even overcome any difficulties or hurdles? Then you want to research and learn about the career itself and about the industry. For example, if it's a tech space, you're moving from the PM space to the tech space. What's going on in the industry? What are the things you need to know about the industry? What policies guide that industry? What, governance, government, a lot of government policies governs them. Who is their certifying body? Is there a certifying body for that specific career? What do you need to do? Then identify the skills, qualifications, that are required in the new career or industry. So you are a project manager, you want to make a career switch. What are the skills that are required or qualifications that are required in that new field you're looking at going to or you're aiming at? And what are the step-by-step process of even, getting on board and acquiring those skills and qualification? You need to check. So a lot of research and exploration needs to go on at this point. That's your step 2. Then for your step 3, you need to upskill and reskill. You have identified your goal, you've researched and you've clarified that, yes, I have my goal and this new career path aligns with my goal. Then you have done a research about what are the skills that are required, what goes on in that particular industry, what does it entail and all that. Then it's time for you to upskill and reskill. You need to upgrade yourself. It's you preparing yourself to now penetrate into that industry, preparing yourself to be attractive to recruiters in that industry. That's what you do next. First and foremost, identify your transferable skills. Where you are currently operating, the career you are currently in, there are some skills that you have that you're using in that specific career that can also be applied in any other career. There are some general skills like your IT and tech skills, you being a team player, you have the decision-making skills. They are generalized skills. Your leadership skills, your communication skills, your maybe data analysis, analytical skills, they are generalized skills. So you have to identify those because it helps you to feel comfortable when you first, to start without feeling strange when you first move into the new career. Then you now work on developing your missing skills or qualifications. Remember that in step 2, you've identified the skills and the qualifications required for that particular new career or that particular industry. Then it's now time for you to develop those missing skills. Do you want to go for training? Do you want to know what's it called? The professional body for that particular career that you're looking at, that you're aiming at? Then you need to register for courses, register for trainings, read, prepare yourself, and take professional certification. It will make you attractive. Once you acquire all these professional certifications, or when you are on that journey, you need to update your CV so that you're more attractive. You update your CV, you update your professional profile. There's no point, acquiring those or developing yourself and then you're not putting it out there. How do you expect recruiters to start, poaching you? You need to start, pushing out your CV, your updated CV. You need to update your LinkedIn page. You need to update your Indeed profile. Different job boards that that you have your CVs in. You need to update them to show the skill that you now have, to show that you're upgraded, so that you are in the faces of headhunters or recruiters who might be willing to bring on board new professionals into that career or into that industry that you're looking at. Step 4, you need to rebrand yourself. Yes, you've updated your CV, you've updated your profile. You need to rebrand yourself so that other people can see you in a new light. A lot of people they're already seeing your profile on CV, on LinkedIn, for example, before. They know what it is, they know what it looks like. Might be a good time to update your headshots, your professional headshots. That's your picture that is on LinkedIn. Most oftentimes when we recruiters are looking for candidates, one of the things that attracts us is the headshot, the professional headshot that is there. That somehow attracts us and then makes us click your profile, and then before we now start seeing other things. So it would be nice if you can just update your headshots. It might sound basic, but it's just an attraction, mechanism. Then you also need to put out, like I said earlier, put out all the new things, the new skill, the new certification that you have acquired there. You need to build a strong online presence for yourself. For example, there's nothing bad in you putting out articles related to the new career or putting it out there that you are interested. These are the certifications that you have acquired. You're currently in this industry and you're looking at transitioning into this other space. That's you rebranding yourself. You coming out to say that, oh, I was this, or I'm this, but I'm on a journey to becoming this. Then people who are out there know that, okay, this person is on this journey. And because of that, oh, we can be able to reach out to this person if we need someone that has a specific skill or someone that is, transitioning. So rebrand yourself, like I said. Step 5 is for you to build connections. You need to build connections. I struggled with this sometimes in my career a while back. I acquired all the necessary skills, all the necessary certification and all that. But coming out to engage people, to engage in the right places was a bit of a difficulty for me because I was shy, I was timid. But I saw that a lot of people that we started together, they were growing, they were moving. And that's because they know someone somewhere, or when they go for events, they are easily able to engage and speak to people and then tell them about themselves, exchange cards, and then they are getting opportunities. You can start by tapping into your existing connections. You have friends in your current industry. You have mentors that could be in your current industries. You have LinkedIn, your existing connections on LinkedIn. Let them know. Send a message to any one of them. You can look at people that have maybe the same the career path you're looking at. You can engage them in a conversation. Just introduce yourself. Let them know. That's how you network. That's how you build connection. Then start attending industry events and engaging at those industry events. Some of this new industry or the new career you're looking into, they have a community, just like project management. There's a community, just like this community we're on. Find out what community exists in that new career or in that new industry, and then join their events, even if it's paid events. Try as much as possible to pay and join those events. And then when you join those events, don't just be an observer. Don't just be an observer. Be a contributor. Be someone that asks questions. After the session, engage with people during the session. And then after the session, reach out to some of these people and then speak to them on general terms, ask questions, so that you want to let people have top of mind awareness of you, such that when opportunities come, you're the first person that comes to mind. That's why you need to network. You're networking because you want to let them know what you're currently doing or what you're looking at doing, what qualification or experiences that you have, so that when opportunity comes, you're the first person that comes to their mind. You're the first person they reach out to. They set up informational interviews just to learn more about the industries and role within it. Informational interview are just like maybe like an informal information gathering session, whereby, for example, you've met someone at an event, at an industry event, you've reached out to that person afterwards. You can politely ask for maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes of their time virtually to have a conversation with them about the new career or new industry. There are questions you might have, in mind that you need to ask about that industry. Is fact finding, so that when that opportunity comes, you come to their mind. That's one. And then so that when you get that opportunity to move into that new career space or industry, you already have some knowledge. You're not moving into that space as a novice, as a way. You already have some knowledge to help you, in the first few weeks or few months of switching. Like I said here, networking opens doors to new opportunities and provides support during change. Even when you eventually switch into that new career or new industry, there will be someone somewhere that you can reach out to say that, oh, now I'm here, I'm having this issue at hand now. How can I resolve it? Or what do you think about this? This is what I want to share with my new line manager. What do you think about this? This is what I want to present in the next meeting or NPR session. What do you think about it? So it helps you, building connections or networking helps you to find your feet early, even when you move or you switch to that career. I'll be going to step 6 now. Step 6 is for you to embrace the transition. Yes, you're transiting, or you've transited. You need to be patient. Be patient on the new job, or while you're still looking for that, new opportunity. You need to be patient. Don't be like Tony of several years ago that just switched and just jumped into a career without information, or without networking for the wrong reasons. You need to be patient. Sometimes career switch takes 6 to 1 year, and 6 months to 12 months, or even more than that, even up to 2 to 3 years. But just be patient. It's not something that we should rush. And like I said earlier, your career is it's how do I want to put it? It encapsulates the major part of our life. If you're a career person, the major part of our life is a lot of things that happens in our life is majorly determined by our career. So it's something that you shouldn't rush. Be patient, then embrace challenges. Yes, there might be challenges along the way of transiting. There might be challenges when you're leaving your current career path. There might be challenges when you eventually switch into the new career path. There might be surprises, unpalatable surprises. Learn to embrace them. And if you have built the right network, if you have built the right community, you would always have someone or people to share with when you're having challenges. And that's you embracing it. That's you not just seeing the challenges and jumping out suddenly. That's you asking questions, being matured about it, asking questions from the community you've been able to build from different people you've been able to engage with along the way when you were transiting. Embrace the challenges. Then what you need to do is not about you just acquiring, that knowledge and skill and stopping there. Now that I know that, oh, I've been able to transit, you still need to keep improving your skill. You need to keep improving on your knowledge. Mind you, you are new in that space, and there are people that have spent years, decades in that particular space. You don't want to be seen as someone that is a laggard, and then you don't want to disappoint yourself. You don't want to now become obsolete. You have to keep improving yourself. And of course, AI, there are new trends in AI, in tech, and the cloud space every day. There are new trends. So you need to keep improving yourself, sharpening your skill, ensure that you are in tune with the recent trend in that career space that you are now. And then, of course, you need to start asking for feedback. Ask people for feedback, ask colleagues for feedback. The relationship you've built in that new career, still go back to them and learn from the feedback. Ask questions. How am I doing? I hope I'm doing well. And then when you're giving feedback, embrace it too, and then learn from it. Let's be focused on just the content of the feedback. Sometimes not even the messenger. Be focused on the message. Some feedback might be unpalatable, but see it as a learning process. It helps you to grow. Growth can be gradual, but once you're taking those feedback and then taking your pointers, asking questions, continue to ask questions from people in the industry, the mentors that you've identified that are mentoring you, ask questions from them, and then use that feedback to develop yourself, to build yourself more. So it's not the time to just, now I'm here. Yes, I'm resting. It's a time to keep, continuous improvement of yourself, learning from the feedback and applying the knowledge again, from that feedback, applying it in your day-to-day, activities as you're joining in that career. Yes. I'm going to recognizing and managing emotions, identity, and finances during a career transition. Yes, it's emotions can run wild when you're switching careers. Your identity may change. It may affect your finances. So I'm going to just be sharing with you tips that can help you to recognize and also manage these emotions and then the identity and then finances when you're undergoing a career transition. One of it is guilt, and I've been here before. You know, the guilt of how will they feel? How will my employer feel? My employer has spent a lot of money, you know, to train me and all that. And now I'm abandoning my employer, or I'm abandoning the organization where I'm working, switching to a new career. There's that sense of guilt that comes. And for people like me that have a very, how do I want to put it? My personality type is melancholy. Is one of my personality types. You know, we tend to think about things a lot and dwell on things. Whenever I'm leaving a job or I'm about to leave a job, I always, you know, there's always that guilt of, how am I going to tell them? How will they feel? They just sponsored the training for me just 6 months ago, and now I'm dropping a ball on them. I'm sacking them, or I'm firing them, you know. Then another feeling is, oh, my colleagues, my friends, the people I'm used to in the organization, and then maybe you've acquired some clients in the organization that are already used to you. Sometimes that feeling comes. It is very normal, and it is worse for people with a, you know, melancholy personality type. You feel that, I owed. And sometimes I remember there was one time that I took a job offer. I was leaving my organization then. I now took a job offer. And when I spoke with the CEO of the organization where I was working, you know, he begged me, he did all that. And I felt so guilty. Do you know what I did? I went to withdraw my offer of my acceptance from that organization that I just got a job, majorly because I felt bad. You know, my CEO then had worked on my emotions and all that, and I felt so bad and all that. I felt pity on the organization. I said, okay, let me just, so I changed my mind. I withdrew my acceptance and I stayed back in that organization. Did he haunt me? Yes. My decision to go back to them, he haunted me a bit, and I felt a bit of regret. But of course, you know, you have to move on. But one thing that you must have in mind, your career decisions are your personal choices. So you're taking that decision for you and for you alone. And for you, it means for your career growth, and sometimes for your family, and sometimes for your health. So it's all about you. So you need to be very careful, you know, when guilt sets in. It's natural that you feel a sense of loyalty and all that, but let it not, you know, hinder your professional growth, because it's your growth that you should be focused on. And some of the things that would help you to snap out of this is for you to reflect on your reasons, your why, your goals. And that's why you need to have that, you know, self-reflection from the beginning. When you take a decision to switch careers, you need to know your why. When guilt comes in, your why and your goals would help you to refocus. Then ensure you communicate openly and professionally with your employer. Let your conversation be professional with your employer. I think that I didn't handle it in a very professional way at that time. Maybe that was why I was able to, my employer then was able to convince me to withdraw my acceptance offer and stay back. Then ensure when you're leaving, ensure you maintain positive relationships with colleagues, even after you depart from the organization. So places where I've left now, I still have a very good relationship with them. We still reach out to one another. Just let it be a platonic, positive relationship. Then ensure that you focus, on how your transition can benefit others in the long run, not only you. In the long run, just think about it that, okay, this career move that I'm making, how will it benefit me? Okay, this is how to benefit me. You know your why, you know your goals. Then the people around me, how is it going to benefit them? What value, by switching, what value am I going to add to myself and add to my people around, the people around me, your family, people close to you, people that matter to you. So think about all these things. It will help you to, get rid of guilt or reduce guilt. Then how do you manage your sense of self during a career transition? Sometimes, like I said, your identity and sense of self, you need to adjust. And most often times you feel that, how do I want to put it? There's a way that you might feel complex when you're moving into a new career, just because you feel that, oh, I'm just a beginner, or I'm a learner, I'm still learning on the job. So sometimes that feeling of complex, of losing your self-confidence can come in. Things that can help you: introspective journaling. What aspect of your previous role contributed to your sense of self? How can you integrate your past professional experiences into your new career path? When you answer those questions, it helps you. You practice, mindfulness, meditations, affirmations, daily affirmations, and all that. Because sometimes I've taken a job before, I had resigned, and I took that new job, and I was feeling a sense of, will they like me here? Am I setting myself up for failure? How long will it take for them to trust me? How do I earn their trust? I started feeling scared that, will they like me here like they liked me in my previous organization? So one thing that should come to you is to try and remember your achievements, your past achievements, and how you were able to make those achievements. Try and remember those things. It gives you self-confidence. It helps you to build your self-confidence. Try and remember your colleagues or your workmates or your subordinates that you assisted in overcoming a particular work challenge. It helps build your confidence. So I'm not going to go so much into this, but introspective journaling, mindfulness practices, that's daily meditation, affirmations in the morning before you leave for that new job really helps. Cognitive restructuring, it also helps. Then also narrative therapy techniques. You can begin to write about your previous previous career, write about it, the achievements, like I said, you made, things like that helps you to bring to remembrance what you have done, your past achievements, and helps you to reinforce the fact that I did this time, I can do it again, even better. Then financial concerns. Most often times you are concerned about, because sometimes, especially if you're not changing careers because of economic reasons, sometimes we may have to take a pay cut. For example, if it's something that you're passionate about, if it's a career that you're passionate about, you don't mind taking a pay cut. Or if it's a career that, you're taking a decision to switch because it gives you more time for your family, you don't mind taking a pay cut. But you now need to, ensure that before you make that switch, you have financial plans in place. Number one, you conduct a financial audit each other. Then what savings do I have at the moment? Because your savings is what will take you, will keep you going in that space of transitioning. It would help you to engage the transition costs that you need to do, your education and training, cost of relocation, cost of job search. There's a cost attached to every job search, because you're going for interviews. You might need to be traveling for interviews. You might need to start attending. Of course, you need to start attending, like I said, industry events and all that. You need to pay for that. So you need to consider that. Then your outstanding debt, you want to ensure that is not on red. Then you develop a transition-focused budget. Build an emergency fund, just in case, that transition is not coming soon, or just in case you have had to leave a particular job while waiting for another one. You need to have an emergency fund in place. You need to have a savings plan. Even if I transition, let's say I'm going for a pay cut, how do I save? How do I plan so that it doesn't affect my home or it doesn't affect other aspects of my life? Of course, we all have bills to pay. We have utility bills, we have school bills and all that to pay. So we need to also ensure that your financial stability is balanced so that you are not losing both ways. Then cost cutting. It's not the time to be spending money on frivolities. There are some things that that you know that they are not priority, that you need to let go of. Then implement risk management strategies. Plan for worst case scenario. What if I'm not able to switch in the next 6 months? How do I survive? Or what if I'm not able to transition in the next 1 year? What I'm earning now, can it still sustain me? Can it still sustain me? Bearing in mind that I'm spending money on, acquiring new skills, education. I've taken up a master's program because I'm switching. You need to also put that in mind. Then, of course, be open to flexible work plans. Sometimes there are some opportunities that come that are flexible in the sense of maybe part-time. So they might not necessarily give you the kind of funds you want. Be open to it. Remember your goal. Your goal is that, oh, this career transition is taking me 2-3 steps or taking me to my career goal. It helps you not to think about the finances too much that, okay, this money is not enough. Then just in case, have contingency plan. Just have a plan that in case this is not going or I'm spending too much money, how do I survive? You need to make plans. You need to make plans so that when things come up that are unexpected, you're ready for it. Then, of course, explore alternative income sources, part-time jobs, like I said earlier, that align with your new career path. You can freelance or offer consulting work in your current field just until you balance, you balance very well. Then, yes, there's always, excuse me, pros and cons. There's the sweet part is that there's benefits in career transition. And this is wrapping up. I'll be sharing with you the benefits in career transition, expanded network. You have network in your previous career. Now in your you switched careers, there's new network, new connections, enhanced skills. You will have you'd have gained new skills, different skills from your previous career. Then increased income potential. Yes, it might not be in the initial stage, but gradually it gives you an increased income potential, gives room for personal growth. And then most often times there's better work-life balance, especially when you choose right. When you don't rush into it, you could have better work-life balance. And on a final note, I've said this, if you aren't thinking about a career transition today, someday you will. When that day comes, approach it with curiosity, conviction, and commitment. Yes, one day you might not be thinking about it, but one day it will come. I have like almost 20 years experience in the HR space, and I'm partially doing a career transition now into coaching. So it's not a full career transition, but it's something that is different from what I've been doing. And I'm already on the journey of, taking the right education, certification. I'm already on that journey now. So it might not be something you're doing now, but one way or the other, any point in your career, it will come. It can be messy, but it can also be catalyst in shaping the future self that you will be proud of. Always remember, a career transition isn't just about leaving one job for another. It's about exploring new opportunities, learning and growing, and ultimately finding fulfillment in your work. So I encourage you to embrace the uncertainty, trust your abilities, and take that leap of faith when the time is right. It might be the best decision that you ever make. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Thank you, Shola. I'll take questions now. And over to Shola.
Yes. Cool. Thank you so much, Tony. It's really, really, really very good. Listening to you, I can really definitely connect the dots. I remember in the early 2000s when we started talking about transitions. I think it was about 2004, 2005. Those things that you put in your those 6 steps still resonated with me. They are tested, they are tried. And so thank you so much, Tony, really for sharing those with us here today. There is one question from Shegun, which Patrick, thank you. You've tried to answer it. And I think also, Tony, you've also dealt with it in your presentation, but I'll ask anyway so that we can have some more insight into that. So the first question is it reasonable to leave a company that offers excellent culture, work-life balance, and growth opportunities simply because the compensation doesn't reflect the individual's skills and experience? And this is due to negotiation during recruitment. So technically, during recruitment, um, the talent did not kind of negotiate very well. They got onboarded, and now they are feeling that, I'm short paid. Do I just leave? That's the question.
Okay, thank you, Shola. So the question is, what is your goal? What are your goals? So it's not a question that you can answer generally. It depends on you. You need to do a lot of soul searching. Someone like me, if I have the right culture, work-life balance, and I can't remember the last thing you mentioned, and the compensation is not you know, or at par with my skill and experience, I may not necessarily leave. Because number one, I'll consider my goal. Number two, I will consider my present states at that particular time. Sometimes what you're looking for in a particular state is the monetary reward. And that is what would drive you. There have been places where I've worked at that time that I'm like, I just need money. And I was moving. But I won't say now it's money that I need like that. Yes, I need money. But what is topmost for me now at this moment is a great culture. I want to be in a non-toxic environment, and then a work-life an environment that gives me 100% work-life balance. That gives me peace. And that's because I know that from my family, I know that I'm in a state whereby I need to pay attention to family a lot. So I can't be chasing money and then losing family. So it depends on that person. What are you looking for at this particular point in time? And it happens in different aspects of our career stage, different stages of our career. There are times that you just want, oh, I just need money. I just need to make money. And oftentimes men want to make money because they are the main provider of the home. I don't know if that is what entails globally, but in Africa, they are the main provider in the home. So they just, all their aim is a job that gives me money. No, family will understand. My wife will take care of the family, but money, I want that money. So it depends on the stage at which you are in your life, and then what you're looking at, what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And to be honest, there are instances I've personally made a lot of transition in my career. There are times where I've made pay cuts. There are times I've left an organization because of time, excellent culture, but time for the family as well. And I think you nailed it. It depends on the stage you are in your life. In the early stages, there was a time I was flying all around the world, and because I was single and there was no attachment, and but that came a time when I feel that, man, this is not sustainable. I had to come back home. Yeah, despite the fact that I love that role and I love the prestige that comes with it. I love the fact that I don't have to pay for traveling, and I don't have to pay for staying in the best hotel. I had to make the sacrifice, right? One of my mates in that company is on the call right now, and he will be smiling because it was good. But again, we had to bow out. So, culture, excellent culture is good. Work-life balance is great. Growth opportunities is great. However, you need to do a self-reflection. What do I want? Start with why. Why am I here? Who am I becoming? Right? If you answer those questions, it will make your decision easier. Now, knowing fully well the decision to stay or not to stay, you are still making those decisions. So you need to really look inward, make decisions. So if you decide not to do nothing, you're making a decision. If you decide to do something, you're also
Sure.
making a decision. So look inward and ask that question for yourself. Yeah. I've got another question here. Please, we've got a couple of more minutes. So if you have a question, let's just look at it. And this is from Chidima. Let's say you have recently transitioned into a new terrain. What should be your immediate primary focus in the first 30, 60, 90 days, especially if this is a senior high visibility role in a fast-paced environment? I'll let Toy answer, and then I'll support that as well. Tony, the question is, let's say you've just recently transitioned to a new terrain, a new role, a new sector, for example. What should be your immediate and primary focus for the first 30, 60, and 90 days, especially if this is a senior high visibility role in a fast-paced environment?
Okay, so it's in as much as it's a senior role, there are a lot of learnings you need to do, and quick and fast learning. And then in that career space or in that organization, you need to start asking questions, strategically asking questions from the people you meet there. Ensure that you build, how do I want to put it? Build a community around you in that place, people that you can trust and ask questions, not in a direct way, but because you don't want to be seen as, at this level, you're asking a junior person question, but you need to come to their level, stoop low to ask questions, fact findings, so that you get it right. And of course, like I said, when you have, before you transition, when you have the what's it called, the community or the network that you have gained, you should still be able to fall back on them to support you. The mentors that you have identified, you should be able to speak to them to support you, so that based on things that they've shared with you, you are able to now use it to run on your job. So a lot of fact findings, a lot of questions asking, not a time for you to start saying, this is how we should do it. This is how we must do it. You need to stoop to conquer at this point, really.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony. That's excellent. I just want to add this, Chidima. First of all, if we can connect, I think I have a few things I can share with you as well, personally. And also, say, most of your question is in this book, The First 90 Days. I've read it again and again and again. Every time I have a career transition, it goes there, right? It actually tells you what you need to do, how to prepare yourself, tells you how to accelerate your journey. It tells you how to secure early wins, building your team, achieving alignment, and so on and so forth. It is time tested as well. So if you can lay your hands on this, read it. It's gonna be helpful. And of course, just like Tony mentioned, your connection is really very important. There are people on this call I call, for example, Pamela, Patrick, we just rub minds. I recently also made a transition, and the people close to me, I picked your brain. Those support network are there for you, So you just need to use them. But again, being a senior role and a new environment, a new sector, so to say, you need to be quite strategic on that, on getting up to speed as fast as possible. All right. I'm looking at time, and also I want us to deal with some of those questions. Um, Palladius, okay, yeah, I understand. Palladius is calling out that he joined a bit late because of the issue that we had, that Zoom had, but eventually was able to get in. But his question is around, what if this person that just taking a career transition encounters objection from elders when they learn of how much thirst that they have for career transition. Okay, so this is cultural. So I think I understand the question. The question is like, you are trying to transition, and people that have been in that career path are saying, why are you doing this? Just relax. So what do you say to that, Tony?
To be honest, people would always, how do I want to put it, the elders in quotes in your current line, most of them would always say, oh, don't transition. If I was able to do this, see where I am now and all that. that would always come. But when you know your why, really, it helps you to focus. You know your goal. It helps you to focus. And like I said earlier, it's your journey. Yes, take advice from them and all that, but you know where you're going. You know the reason why you're going there. You might need to even be coached. I remember that when I decided to go on this coaching journey, there were a lot of other options that came to mind. And I was, I was like, what do? I had to enroll a coach. I had to pay a professional coach to coach me. The coach is not there to tell you what to do. He's there to ask you questions based on the issue that you have shared. And then it triggers, makes you think deep, ask you empowering questions or powerful questions that make you think deep. And then you set your soul to now identify, oh, this is why I want to switch. And then this is where I should go. This is what I should do. So I'd rather say, yes, ask your elder, speak to them, get their insights. But if an elder is saying no, there has to be a strong justification for it. But I would advise, get a coach to coach you, into taking the right decision. The coach won't tell you, do this, do them, do this, do that. Palladius, do this. Palladius, this is the right way. But a coach is a professional, would, guide you to be able to get to that point whereby you take that decision based on the goal that you're looking at. So I'm not saying don't speak to the elders, speak to the elders, but be sure of what you want. Because like I said, it's your journey. It's all about you.
It's all about you. It's your journey. So it has to be personal. Things are changing every day. So the people that have gone ahead of you, they've made their decisions. And now the rate of change in the current world is fast. And the early adopters will always make the right move, almost always. Yeah. So good insight, good answer. I've seen Selima's hands up. Let's go to you. Guess you have a question you want to verbalize.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much for the delivery. Quite insightful. I just want to dwell on something you said when you were trying to give example of yourself. Is it important or necessary that when you want to transition, especially leaving your current job to some other job, you need to tell someone, because you talked about professionalism. In your own case, you didn't handle it professionally. Maybe you had a good rapport or relationship with your boss and you had to discuss it. But I fear the danger in trying to do that. And then in your own case, you are not fired. What if after you withdrew your acceptance and decided to stay with them, they now fired you? How would you have felt? So I just think that since you know your why and you do it professionally and write that you are leaving, it will not be nice for you to change your mind in any way. I don't know. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Just explain properly.
Yes, I understand, Suleiman. Thank you for, for raising that. Like I said, it was a mistake that I made. So it's not something that I would do now. Yes, because like I said, you need to, before you even go ahead to decide to start looking for other opportunities, there's a reason. There's something that have pushed you to do that. That's why you should remain focused. And that's why you should remain professional. Like you said, it might have switched the wrong way at that time. I might withdraw that acceptance. And then they tell me, oh, sorry, we've actually hired someone when you indicated that you were going to resign. We didn't trust you enough to still come back. But I guess I was lucky, and then maybe the relationship I had with that my boss then also made me to be able to do that confidently. But now it's not something I would do again. I've learned from that experience because, after that, some things that happened in the organization years after, I was like, I overstayed my welcome in this place. I should have left that time. So now if I'm not sure, I won't even resign. If I'm not convinced, I won't even resign in the first place. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Suleiman.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Well appreciated.
It can also be based on the relationship you have,
Yes.
Your decision to want to leave to go somewhere else might actually trigger those within the organization to say, hey, you know what, this person is worth double what we're paying. He's an asset we need to keep. So it all depends on the relationship you have. But
Yeah.
remember that once you rescind on the other side, you've burnt a future bridge in terms of if opportunity pops up again, those people will not be willing to look at you because they can't trust that you'll come over as intended. So they're just relationships. That's all it's about.
Mm.
Yeah, well said, well said, well said. And just to add to that, you know, over the course of one's journey, there are things you learn along the way, and there are two major ways you learn. You learn from your own mistakes. I have done it this way, I'll never ever do it again, right? Or you learn from other people's mistakes. Oh, this person has done this, and that's why you need a coach, for example. You need a mentor to tell you, I've passed through this path. I will advise you to pass through it again. Actually, but your decision is still your decision. Now, those are the two ways you can learn. Now, we're just saying or praying or hoping that the decisions or the decisions you take by or the lessons you learn in your own decision are not really disastrous, so that they don't derail, you know, because it's actually sometimes very costly, especially in career. But again, it is what it is. We keep learning every single day. That was a very good question, Selema. It could have gone several different ways, right? And we have a lot of examples to dwell with that. I'll take one more question from Blessing, and then we'll wrap up the session. It's a very popular, you know, session because all of us have to go through transition in one way or the other. And I think one session does not even do justice to this. Blessing is saying, thank you, Toyin. How about if you are in a job which you've struggled with for over 5 years, attended trainings to be better, but never confident at that job? Is it a good reason to leave the organization and start afresh with another career?
Hmm. I see Patrick's response.
The second part of that is also it's hard to just leave because of the finances. What can be done in taking such decisions? Okay, let's deal with the first question first of all. Yep.
Okay, so
You've been on the job, let me paraphrase, you've been on the job for about 5 years, you have attended training, but it's still, the confidence is still not there. Is it a good reason to leave and start afresh?
So it could be a good reason to leave, but first and foremost, like Patrick said, you need to check if there's how do I want to put it? If you are even in the right career in the first place. Because if you have gone for trainings and the story is still the same, then you need to check if you're in the right career. So what are you passionate about? What skill do you have? There must be something or a skill that you have that you're very good in, that comes to you naturally, that you now need to sharpen. So you need to, go on a self-reflection journey and also ask maybe people around you that, what do you think I like doing? People close to you, what comes to me naturally? Also ask yourself, what comes to you naturally? It might be a good place to start. Then about the finances is something that you need to face. I think that 5 years is not too long for you to have identified that you're not doing well in a particular area or career. You should have identified it since. And then you now plan your exits gradually, not just suddenly, oh, it's 5 years. I've not succeeded. I'm resigning, I'm leaving. You have to plan your exit that, okay, I've identified that this area I'm good in it, and I want to switch to this area. What do I need to do to be able to switch? What trainings or learnings or skills do I need to acquire? Then start acquiring them. What savings do I need to have so that when I eventually move, it would not affect me? Then you start, you plan it, and then you gradually then transition into that career. But what is very important, you need to identify what you're good at, what skill that you have that you can now enhance and develop. That's my that's my submission on that.
All right, cool. Thank you, Toyin. That's very fine. That's very good. Dio is on the call, and he's one of my mates that understand what I'm about to share. There was a role I took, and I was struggling. It was a fast-paced environment. Before I understand the remit of the role, it has changed to the next one. And so you see both software or hardware are changing, and I'm learning again. And before I could finish learning, it's changed.
Okay.
I'm just like, this is not for me. I had to go and speak with another manager to say, I'm crossing over to this product because I'm more confident in that. My current manager did not, at that point, I did not want to release me. But again, my decision is my decision at the end of the day. So I had to move to where I could navigate more passionately and also grow in my career. And that changed the trajectory of things. So just to give you a practical example of how these things work out, Blessing. Very good, very good. And so, but again, 5 years is more like too long to really identify that. In 2 years, you will know that, oh, maybe I'm at the maximum, this I need to change. The rate of change these days is really, really high, really high. So we need to go with the trend. I'm just going to pause here. It's 15 minutes past the hour. And then I'll say thank you to Toyin. It's a very, very reflective, session that talks to every single person on this call, whether it's someone that's never done a transition before, or someone that is in the middle of a transition, or someone that has done so many transitions in their career. I think it speaks to everyone. And as you were speaking, I could pinpoint certain things that I do and certain things that I've learned, along my journey. So thank you really very much for really sharing your wealth of experience with us. I will also say, please connect with Toyin. Every year she has an event that she holds. I am part of that. I try to attend, and also if you connect with her on LinkedIn, please, that would be a good start.
Could you put her
She's one of my
LinkedIn
brain trust when
information?
it comes to human resource matters, and I don't mind sharing that with you, hey guys.
Did she post her LinkedIn information in there so people can connect with her?
All right. Toyin, I know you have that. Please, while we are doing this, can you please post that? All right. And I just really want us to conclude this right now. Can you see my screen right now, the PDU code? All right.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, that's the PDU code for this session for PMI members. Please, my brain trust, if you can just put that in the chat, that would be good. So that people can take advantage of that. You can take advantage of that. All right, cool. So the PDU code is 5512Q47KTH. KTH. Thank you. And
I thought it was Baba Jebu number.
It is not. This is 1.5K. And remember, it is on the power scales this time around. It is not in ways of working. So if you want to claim it, you claim it under the power scales for PMI PDU. Next month we are going to be talking about something very interesting for project managers and project managers to be. It is all about stakeholder management. Next session. How do we decode and deliver, especially the things that your stakeholders really want, but they won't say. Most of the time, the stakeholders do not even know what they want. And as a project manager, you should be able to navigate your way around it. So we'll be having Peju in Kemenet next month. So let's look at stakeholder management next month. So I'll be looking forward to having you next month. And hopefully we can have a great time next month as well. So again, Tony, thank you so much. Let's continue to swing. Thank you for coming today. Everyone, thank you for attending as well. If you have any question, yes, it is the May meetup. It is the May meetup, Anthony. May meetup. Maybe I've said April then. It's May, not April. May meetup. So I will send more information on this one very, very soon. Thank you everyone for attending, despite the issue that Zoom had today. I guess it was resolved while we're on the session, and quite a number of people joined. And the other members of the community will definitely use the recording to catch up of things. What I will say now is thank you, and we will meet again next month. All things being equal. If you have any question, reach out. We'll be able to help as a community. All right. Have a good one. Bye for now.
All right. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you.
Pam Pam.
I
Hey,
need to
what's
start
up?
sharing.
Hi, person.
Stop the recording.
How are you?
I'm